Soft piano fades in, rain on window sound, then a sudden sharp inhale. I still remember the exact second I realized my parents weren't coming. The dean called my name, Evelyn Marie Carter, summa cum laude, and 4,000 people clapped like thunder. But the 3 seats I'd saved in row J, they stayed empty. No proud mom waving a program. No dad holding his phone up to record. Just 2 folded programs, and a single balloon someone else's family had tied to the chair. I smiled the smile I'd practiced in the mirror that morning, crossed the stage, shook the dean's hand, and whispered thank you to absolutely no one behind me. Beat of silence. Then music swells darkly. That was the day I stopped waiting for them to choose me. Hi, everyone grab something warm, because this one's long, and it still hurts to tell. Growing up, our house looked perfect from the street. White siding, hydrangeas, the kind of lawn that made neighbors slow their cars. Inside, the hallway was a shrine to my little sister, Mira. Framed photos of her in pink tulle mid-pirouette, holding bouquets bigger than her torso. My mom, Lorraine, always beaming in the corner of every shot like she'd personally invented talent. My pictures were there too, if you crouch down. A tiny 4x6 of me at the science fair, half hidden behind a bigger frame of Mira at her first recital. I told myself it didn't matter. Older siblings get less attention, right? That's just how it works. Except it wasn't. When I was 12, they forgot my birthday completely. We were in the car coming home from Mira's rehearsal when Mom suddenly gasped, "Oh honey, was today your?" She didn't even finish the sentence. Just an annoyed little sigh, like I'd scheduled my own birth on the wrong day. High school got worse. I won a National Academic Award. One speech, one night. I scanned the auditorium for 20 minutes looking for them. Empty seats. The guidance counselor patted my shoulder and whispered, "Traffic, I'm sure." Later Dad said, "You're strong, Ev. You don't need us there for every little thing." Every little thing. Those 4 words became my soundtrack. The day Mira turned 16, they surprised her with a silver Honda Civic, giant red bow and everything. I stood on the sidewalk in February wind waiting for the bus, backpack cutting into my shoulders, watching her peel out of the driveway laughing. I never cried in front of them. Not once. I cooked dinner when Mom was at the studio. I tutored Mira through algebra, even when she rolled her eyes. I brought home straight A's like offerings. I made myself small, quiet, easy, because maybe if I needed less, they'd have something left for me. But love isn't a pie. It's a spotlight. And there's never moved an inch. MIT acceptance day. I called them from the library steps sobbing. "Happy tears for once." Mom said, "That's wonderful, sweetheart, hang on, Mira's teacher is calling on the other line." Click. I sat on the cold concrete until the sun went down. Fast forward 4 brutal, beautiful years. Sleepless nights, research labs that smelled like burnt coffee and ozone. Friendships forged over Red Bull and desperation. I was graduating top of my class in computer science, already recruited by a lab in Seattle that worked on stuff most people think only exists in movies. I texted my parents 2 weeks before. "Please come. It would mean the world." Mom replied, "We'll see, sweetheart. Mira has a recital that weekend, but we'll try." I should have known "we'll try" meant no. Graduation morning was perfect Cambridge weather. Bright breezy, the Charles River sparkling like it was proud of us. Families everywhere, screaming, crying, taking 1,000 photos. I saved 3 seats anyway. Old habits. When my row was called, I walked to the stage telling myself, "Don't look. Don't look." But I did. Empty. The applause was polite, loud, meaningless. The dean shook my hand, glanced behind me, and his smile faltered for half a second. Pity. I hate pity. Afterward, I sat on a bench under a cherry tree while everyone else took family photos. My phone buzzed. Mom. "Sweetheart, Mira's recital time got moved up and it was her senior solo. We just couldn't miss it. She was breathtaking tonight. You would have loved it." Attached. 6 photos of Mira on stage in blush pink tulle, Mom crying happy tears in the front row. Dad filming with the biggest grin I'd ever seen. Second text, 2 minutes later. "How was your little ceremony?" Little. For years. 3.98 GPA. 2 published papers. A job offer most PhDs would kill for. Little. I stared until the screen went black, then opened my contacts and blocked every number, every email, the family group chat that somehow never included me anyway. It wasn't dramatic. No screaming, no slamming doors. Just a quiet, clean cut. I flew to Seattle the next day and never looked back. Music shifts, rain on window softer now. Seattle saved me. Small studio apartment, single-pane windows that cried every night. A rescue cat I named Tesla because she kept walking across my keyboard. I worked insane hours at a research lab. People who cared whether my code compiled, not whether I needed applause. My manager Priya slid granola bars across my desk when I forgot to eat. Jenna dragged me to kickboxing until I could punch without crying. Leo taught me that coffee could taste like campfire and forgiveness. Therapy was brutal and necessary. I learned the strong one isn't unbreakable, she just breaks in silence. 5 years went by. Patents in my name. Promotions. A life that fit me perfectly because I built every inch of it. Then a thick white envelope showed up. Daniel, my cousin, my favorite human, was getting married. Handwritten note at the bottom. It would mean the world if you came. Love you, Ev. I stared at that card for 3 days. 5 years is long enough to heal, but not long enough to forget. I said yes. The wedding was on a hill overlooking the Puget Sound. All white roses and golden light. I wore a simple emerald dress, and the kind of calm that only comes when you stop auditioning for people who already left the theater. Daniel saw me first. He crossed the lawn and hugged me so hard my feet left the ground. I'm proud of you, Ev. Really? For words. He'll never know what they did to me. I drifted through cocktail hour laughing with strangers, sipping champagne, existing like a whole person. Then I felt it, the air changed. Evelyn. Mom's voice cracked on the second syllable. She stood 10 feet away clutching her purse like a life vest. Dad beside her, older, grayer. Mira behind them in lavender, eyes wide. I turned slowly. Mom. She pressed a hand to her chest. My God, it really is you. It's been 5 years, I said. Dad cleared his throat. You look different. Better or worse? I asked calm. They didn't answer. Mom tried a smile that wobbled. We reached out. You never. I know. Her mouth pinched. Do you know how much you hurt us? I almost laughed. Almost. Hurt you. I repeated. Soft enough that nearby guests leaned in without meaning to. Dad stepped forward. We're your parents, Evelyn. You can't just vanish over a silly grudge. The words left my mouth before I felt them coming. A silly grudge? I listed them like evidence in court, voice steady, lethal. My 7th birthday. The academic award speech. Empty seats. The national scholarship banquet you forgot. The car you bought Mira while I froze at the bus stop. My MIT graduation you skipped for a recital in a high school auditorium that smelled like old carpet and desperation. Mira flinched. I never asked for that car. I know, I told her gently. This isn't about you. Mom's eyes filled. We thought you were strong. You didn't need. I won the day I got on that plane 5 years ago and decided their absence would no longer define me. If you've ever had to walk away to save yourself, I see you. And I'm proud of you. Soft piano returns, single note held. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop waiting for people to turn around and start walking so they finally see your back. Moral. Love should never feel like an audition you keep failing. When you stop performing, you finally hear your own music.